Welcome to Outside the Algorithm. I am your host, Samuel Patrick. We're about to get into a live Q&A with Lore Gold. When I say Q&A, that means you are invited to join the convo. So if you have anything to add, or even if you came with your own questions already, drop them in the comments, let us know. We can also bring you up on the screen as well. So if your camera ready, make sure to include that. It's a big convo we're having today. First things first, where y'all tuned in from? That's what I want to know. I'm in Los Angeles at the moment. Laura's checking in from Houston. Let us know where y'all are at so we can properly address you. Shout out everyone on the East Coast. It's 8 p.m. over there now. Now, this is a follow-up to our new episode of Outside the Algorithm, which just dropped. And we got into it with Lore about his process, his vision. We chopped it up about the fashion biz. So if you haven't checked that out, you might want to watch it after this or before it if you're watching the replay. And it was interesting. That's out now on YouTube. Our members have an extended version at LFOD.life as well. The convo is from a little bit ago. So right now we're going to follow up, see what's going on in the meantime with Lore and all that good stuff, see where he's at today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lore Gold to the screen. What's happening,
What's going on?
How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. And even if I could, it wouldn't do much. So, you know, I appreciate you joining me for this today. This is like a new thing we're trying out that I think is going to be real cool for folks.
And I appreciate you, man. You made the trip down here. I knew you were doing your thing, and you came by, and you caught me at an interesting time. Like, what date exactly was that interview?
It was February 2020. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but it must have been, I think I was at Mardi Gras like a couple days before or something. So it must have been,
wow.
Could have been the beginning of March 2020 either.
That's right before the pandemic hit. Really?
We had no idea. We had no idea you'd be making masks a month later.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That was like a really different time in my life, man.
Yeah. Well, I've
had a kid since then and everything. Like, watching that interview, it was just. First of all, I hate watching myself.
You said you were nervous.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get used to it, but
how did you think you did?
It inspired me. It reminded me of like a lot of things because I kind of got like sidetracked with life since then. But I've been trying to hone in on a few things. So, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you go.
No. It's that's cool that you said that because not everyone does watch their old interviews, but it can remind you of, oh, I said that, I was there.
Yeah.
What happened to that guy? Where did he go?
That was huge. Especially the challenge and tradition stuff. Like, I've always kept that in me. It's in my it's just in my lifestyle, but I never vocalized it as much as I did then. And maybe because I was doing more clothing at the time rather than leather products. And I'm still doing clothing, but it has to just be, leather, like, leather jackets or whatever the case is. But it was just very interesting to see my perspective at the time. And I think February 2020, that's so much has happened.
Well, it's funny you brought that up because at the time when we spoke, we didn't talk about specific dates or anything because we knew it was going to come out in the future, but we thought later that year maybe. But it was funny to me because we sat on it for 2 years now. But then when I was starting to get ready to announce this new Outside the Algorithm and get you queued up, I noticed You were tweeting about doing more this year. Even some of the comments when we shared it were like, yo, Lore said he was going to be outside. Like, so that universal timing lined up. Like, what has you ready now to take this next step?
More focus. After my son was born, which was September 2020. So it was like
Congrats.
8 months after, because I found out like a month before. And just maturing, gaining perspective, wanted to be a more honorable person, uh, responsible. Because I look back before my like the time everything before my son was born was just like a radical, rebellious, as it should be. You know, as you get older and you have more responsibilities, you have to take more calculated risks. And I think at the time I just took every risk I could. I quit my job in 2010. I never had a job since, so I've been always on like a need to keep on growing and evolving. And when my son was born, it just made me all right, look at and I felt the fashion industry and how it's changing and evolving and what I love to do and what I want to bring to it. I just blended that all into it. And it's like leather, of course, leather accessories, leather armor, I would call it. I almost want to create like a new genre of leather products, like things you can add to yourself on your garments, your belts, your watches, your sneakers, your footwear. I have a whole vision for that. So right now that's pretty much I'm like at the start of that. And I tried to start it last year, but I had a lot of learning to do. You know, coming out of clothing into leather products, I have to learn how to saddle stitch. I have to have certain machines, and it's just a whole like trial and error. Like the duffel bag I posted on my site, it took me like 4 tries to even.
The Roxbury duffel. Dude, it's fire.
Yeah, because I had the vision for it, and I was like, this is what I have to make. I've done all my research. I've seen everything from like Prada, Coach, vintage, to all the new leather stuff that's coming out of Asia right now. I'm just
So
I'm in a real like I feel like I'm in a like a starting place, but it's higher, if that makes sense.
yeah, so is that why you changed the name?
The name change, I mean, I'm still Laurel, but I just wanted to. The name change is like pretty much what I was saying in the old interview about challenging tradition and taking what's here. And I always want to minimize things. So my name is like minimize. It's funny because I'm legally changing it. And while I was doing that,
Really?
Kanye did the same thing. And I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm copying Kanye, like to minimize your name to like the most simple form. But it just speaks to me like we're probably just on the same kind of like crazy spectrum or whatever.
It's not bad to be tapped in, man. It's not bad to be tapped in.
Exactly.
And you gave Kanye his flowers in that interview as well. And looking back, it was wild too because you also listed like the entire team he brought with him, and like it was clear you did your research before you stepped out into fashion at all.
Oh yeah.
You also, I guess we should take a moment. You also brought up Virgil, rest in peace, and that was kind of when he was even just getting going. He wasn't touching every aspect of the culture quite yet. Do you have anything you'd like to add there, looking back?
I'm sorry. What's the last thing you said?
You also had brought up Virgil, and that was kind of on his ascension. This was back in 2020, and obviously he's passed since then as well.
Yeah.
Like, did you have anything you wanted to add there?
That was very like tragic to me, but I feel like you know, shit. If I was to, sorry if I to swear.
You can curse. Go for it.
All right. I feel like if I was to go that young, Well, how was old? He was like 41.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but yeah, not old at all.
He was in his 40s. I mean, he's done everything, and he's left a footprint, and he's inspired so much. He's inspired me, of course. And I was hoping to work with him one day, or work for him, or whatever the case is. But at the same time, it's almost like I like to look at things in dualities, like the good and evil, whatever whatever the positive side is. What's the negative of it? The negative is that he passed, but the positive of it is that he left such an imprint and he so much influence on so much people. Um, and he raised the bar, and he actually, I give credit to Kanye as well. Like they both just kind of ushered in a new wave of ideas, and it's not subjugated to just urban or streetwear or um, you know uh, high end or luxury like fashion. I feel like it's like almost like humanity right now. We're kind of just getting the kinks together, but we're coming together, even though it's like a little bit friction. But and I
Hmm.
feel like that's what design is doing. Um, and not to keep rambling, but as I'm thinking that, I'm thinking about further in the future, like metaverse, NFTs, and stuff, things of that nature. And I can see how all of that is gonna be influenced by all the way back from Virgil. Like it's just the companies, Nike doing the getting the copyrights for the metaverse product, and it's just a lot. I feel like now I'm excited to be part of it because I feel like I'm getting my foothold now and I'm building my niche, and I'm gonna just I just grab onto the wave of whatever's going on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, and it's funny. I've said I'm on record. I'm really glad I'm alive at the same time as Kanye because the way he's pushing art and pushing thoughts, and um, it is cool when your thoughts kind of sync up with him. I don't know if you saw the Drink Champs, but it was interesting to me. At the beginning, he was kind of describing uh, like the lifestyle I'm on right now with traveling and linking with artists and creating stuff anywhere and not. And I was like, damn, Kanye needs to get a van and convert it. Like he doesn't even know. That's exactly where we're at. Like,
For
um,
real.
and it's cool when you line up with the thinkers like that. So here's the thing, though. When we first spoke, leather was one of your favorite fabrics to work with, but you also were talking a lot about this like constant reworking of the suit. Does this leather departure mean that you're not so focused on the retailoring of that? Because
Yeah, I kind of let that go, um, making suits because I feel like it's much more minimal for me. Um,
word. I just didn't know if there was a major breakthrough or anything. I know at the time you were like thinking about getting rid of the lapel or adding a buckle instead of a button. So I
and
didn't
I still
know.
have stuff I haven't released from that era, and I would work
Okay.
it in somehow. But I just felt like if I'm gonna do a suit, it has to have leather. Like it has to be a leather suit.
Right.
I just want to do leather products right now. I do have a couple of leather jacket ideas. At first when I just started with the leather stuff, probably the last year or two, I was gonna just focus on mainly on accessories. But as I like delve deeper back into like my archives, I realized there's a lot of things I can rework. So I'm gonna give it a slow burn. I don't want to like I have to be more strategic with the way I release things. Like I'm starting with bags, but I just want to make it all make sense. Because I even have I'm working on a I have a sneaker in a boot. I can't even show anybody right now, and I'm excited to even hopefully by fall like release that. But I'm gonna
Fire.
start probably with like a metaverse like wearable product with it first, and then bring it to like stuff like that. I'm really like trying to delve into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the sheepskin that you dropped. Was that today?
I think it was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. That's fire. I was looking at those the other day. So,
At first, I posted it a few weeks ago, but it was with a different fur. And I told my client, I was like, I know you probably like this fur, but let me find something a little bit more plush, like a little bit more like luxe. Because I don't want, like, if it's representing my brand or it's coming from me, I want it to be 100%.
mm-hmm.
So he allowed me a couple more weeks to source something, and I found the perfect sheepskin, actually.
Nice.
And I want to do a rabbit fur. I have like a faux rabbit fur one. I don't even want to post it. I don't want to post anything faux. Like, I just
Real only.
I gotta find the actual sheepskin. I used to be able to find it easy in New York, but in Texas it's like harder to find fur, but easier to find leather.
That makes sense. Also, a lot of things are hard to find right now, man.
Oh yeah.
Even T-shirts to print on. You
Oh
know.
yeah, man. I think that has a lot to do with it too. My geographical um being in Texas, it's like I naturally gravitated more towards the leather.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved accessories, doing bags and stuff, but and also networking and knowing people that do suits and they're killing it. I'm like, okay, I'll collab, but let me just focus on this niche because I feel like no one has it yet, and I could do great here because I started with sneakers like in 2000, I think it was 5, before social media, and I can always bring that back in and such.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely excited to see it. What's been the biggest like challenge for you? Has working with leather been the biggest thing? Just like really learning how to craft with it.
Yeah, because it's like a different it's almost like woodwork. Like you got to get so much different tools and there's things about it that I thought were gonna be easier than clothes, but it's just really like it takes a lot more patience to do stuff, especially stuff that you have to hand stitch. Um, and I'm still like trying to save up for the machine I really want, which is it's crazy. But I have a couple of machines here that can do the job for me, and I look at it just like I was doing graffiti. Like when I had to start off with the cheaper cans first, and
Mm-hmm.
then once I became proficient with those and moved up to the next thing, I'm out of here. So just gotta be
It
patient and keep building the skill. But I'm just backed up on ideas right now, so I grow a little impatient.
I feel you. Yeah, but it's like that process is important. Like it can be tempting to, oh, I want to get the best thing or I need the best thing. But like if you
Exactly.
learn to do it without the bells and whistles, once you get the bells and whistles, whew, you're gone.
Exactly.
And also they say, limitations are sort of the father of invention in a lot of ways.
Like I
Like,
said, dualities, man. Like it's your darkest before dawn. Like
mm-hmm.
if you have less, it can bring out the genius. And like to be able to bring your resources together and just come up with something. And I feel like I always try to appreciate those moments rather than like, oh man, like if I had this, I could do this. I have this
Yeah,
now. I could do great with it. Period. That's it. That's the mentality sometimes.
I feel, yeah, from um, there's almost like a gratitude element to it too, right? Like instead of looking at what you could have, you're like, well, I have this here right now, and I'm not. What am I doing with it? Like,
Exactly.
so,
I made a note to practice gratefulness because it can shape your life. I wake up, the first thing I have to remind myself, regardless of what stress I'm under or what I have to do that day, hone it in. Be grateful that you have everything you have right now to do what you have. Everybody you love is good. You just gotta appreciate the moment, and from that, it's like the world just grants you with things or just reveals certain things that are there that can help you. And also, like I said, dualities. I look at what I may perceive to be negative, like it's my fault. I take accountability. So today's the day that I can move forward with that and make better. And whatever I can't control, that's it. I just gotta I just let it like Christians say let go and let God or something like that.
Yeah,
Pretty much, like it's being
dude.
stoic.
I'm real happy to hear everything you just said because those are major realizations I've had over the last few years too. Like gratitude snowballs like nothing else. I think it's the single best decision I made was like one day I was like, I'm going to focus on being grateful. And it's crazy how it snowballs.
Yeah.
And accountability could change the world, man.
Oh,
if people were ready for that.
I never heard of accountability until I was in my late 20s. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. And it's like people just don't really look in the mirror.
And it doesn't mean blame or it doesn't mean anything like that. It's just owning it and
just you have what's in front of you. You can do something with it. Like stop pointing at that group or this individual. Like individuality is the most important thing. You fix home before you can fix the world. Like, that's it.
Yep. Exactly. You get it, man. I want to, before we get more into that, I want to say, so we talked about this Roxbury duffel. We talked about some of your other pieces and you mentioned like the client or this or that. Like, are you still doing just one-offs or can people DM you and hit you up if they're like, yo, I want that? How do they get one of these pieces?
All right. So right now, we're working on the website and the store. I was trying to come out with it a month ago, but it was just so much more I wanted to just have involved with it. It's like giving people the option to pay with like Klarna and Afterpay and certain stuff like that. Even the cryptocurrency we're trying to get on there as well. But we're aiming for Monday to get the whole set up.
All right.
Like in the background right now, we're like shooting product. So, right now I'm doing one-offs. Like, so it's complicated because in the interview we last did, how I said I wanted to drop weekly product, still a goal for me. I think from after that point we had that interview, I got caught up in making the masks, and then I was doing like social awareness product that got me kicked off of Facebook, and then
really
so much happened. Yeah, I had to get a new Facebook because I was doing. I guess one of my shirts said "No justice, no peace." I was just caught up in the whole wave of what
that got you kicked off.
Socially. And I reflect on that, and I kind of cringe, but it's like, you know, we were all emotional at the time.
There was a lot
But
going on.
moving from there, after that summer, I think I was doing like custom suits still, and then my son was born, and so everything came in perspective. And then he was born September, so that November, I was trying to release leather product, but like a whole year had to go by for me to learn everything, just make sure because I have a high taste level, and what I want to release to the world is can't be bullshit. So it took me a whole year in 2001. Now we're in 2002, and I'm like at the cusp of everything right now, trying to release a few things, and then I want to do like more of a grand launch at the top of spring.
Okay.
But right now I just want to get people familiarized with my aesthetic. I got like leather masks I'm trying to do all the way up until like Halloween. I feel like that's like my holiday season because the mask. And a few people have told me this. Like they see me first with the masks, like since 2013, 14. So, it's like one of those things. I feel like, damn, like, I could have capitalized on that earlier. But I'm happy, and that's not my identity. That's just something I want to do for fun. Like I would rather be known for something more serious. Like everything I'm doing, as far as the leather product goes, not just masks. So
yeah.
Word,
man. I saw you had the like stuffed animals too, the leather animals for your boy.
That's my son's thing too, because we wanted to do a brand for him, but I was like, I don't want to keep doing kids' clothes. Like,
yeah,
I'd rather do kids' accessories. Because kids grow fast. And I don't want to have to deal with the sizing. That's another thing I didn't want to deal with clothing anymore for. I just wanted it to be unisex, and I wanted to be um, one size. Like I don't need like that was a headache for me, especially starting. Like,
Yeah.
and people wanting this and that and their size and this fit. And it's just like let me just give you one bag that or one armor piece or something for your shoes or something like that.
Right, because I'm sure not everyone knows their measurements either, and then you become a tailor, and it's like, hey, this didn't fit how I expected. Yeah.
I know. Trust me, I dealt with that before too. And people that bought custom, I got the measurements. I had it made by a 30-year experienced tailor, just for it to still not fit. I'm like, I can't. That was during the pandemic. Like it was like, damn man, like I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It was a headache.
A leather bag will last forever too. So you got the right idea. Give them something they can use for the rest of their life. So I wanted to touch on a couple things. First of all, you mentioned you were shooting in the background. One of the I guess we'll say our fans, but someone we rock with, her name is Signature, my Signature Art, and we've done photo shoots in the past, and she was asking like, how does she get involved? How do the models link up with you for these shoots and stuff? Where do you pull your talent pool from?
Have a contact me. Right now we just shoot. I'm shooting everything in the house right now. It's a pain. I'm like, damn, how many hats do I have to wear? Because it's like I started off doing graphic design, so I gradually moved into fashion. And it's like, okay, I could do my own website. I could do my own product shops, but it's like, okay, I got to do the content. And I got this. I already have jobs ready for people.
This is why you and I resonate, man, because I've just been doing the website thing. And I'm like, why is this me?
Yeah, it's just like, come on. I want to spend a day on figuring out why this isn't working. Like,
yeah, right, exactly. Do the stuff. Yeah. Why is this thing outside of my expertise not going well? And I have to learn to. But it makes you stronger, I've definitely been enjoying playing with my camera for the last 2 years. So
True.
Maybe we can collab next time I drive by.
Yeah, you had a great setup when you came, man.
I can't wait to show you the new one.
Word. When you coming back?
I'm hesitant to say, but I want to be on the East Coast this spring. It's just been really hard to leave California. I'm not in a rush to like get in the car and drive back. But it's gonna happen probably in March. So we'll be in touch for sure because Houston's on my list of places to go.
Sounds good.
So another thing that I realized we didn't talk about during our interview is really music at all. And we're mostly known as a music platform. Who are you listening to while you're creating this stuff?
It's crazy because there's like probably 3 artists I've been on for the last 3 months now. But honestly, I've been on these artists for like the last. All right, so Currency is my favorite. Pusha T.
Okay.
Jay-Z. And then I might just go into like alternative stuff like Rye. I love them. And just it's like I don't really listen to a lot of news. I try to, but let's say like local artists like Latrell in Boston.
Yep.
Dutch Rebel.
Okay.
Oh my God, Chase. Oh my God,
Deion Chase.
Cyrus Brooks.
I know Cyrus Brooks. Shout out Cyrus Brooks.
Man, I love his
He's a
beats.
fire designer
I kind of want to like rap over one of his beats.
Dude, we can make it happen.
Yeah,
you got bars like that?
I mean, everybody rapped at one point in their life, and it was, I was like, damn,
Yeah.
should I just talk some shit over?
Why not, man?
But
Go full Kanye.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think that I can't even think of anybody else right now. Like I've been on a deep dive with the Clips,
Okay.
going back to like the first like Pusha T and his brother Malice.
You hitting the We Got It for Cheap tapes?
Oh man, I went. Volume 3 is my favorite.
Yep.
Um, just hearing that growth and all that, and Currency actually, since he left Cash Money, his old I've listened to every tape, and his story from working with Dame to getting his deal with Atlantic. I met him in 2011, like a couple of months after his deal, and we was on the elevator together, and I showed him a mixtape cover I made for him. That was I was like the best of Currency. I was trying to get people to get into Currency, and I showed him. He loved it. And then I was like, "So what you gonna do with all that deal, the deal money?" And then he made a joke like, "Well, we have a long way down. It's because we were like on the 68th floor."
Yeah.
And he didn't answer me, and that was it. I never heard from him.
That's funny.
It was
Yo.
kind of you trying to do like a trade show and whatnot, but his music has always been inspirational to me because I felt like he took a big risk. He
Mm-hmm.
talks about that in his music, becoming a businessman and branding himself and influencing others. And you see him now, like 2021 was a big year for him, and like a lot of artists are giving him his flowers now and stuff. So when he's working with
Yeah.
JD, he got an art tape coming out with Alchemist, I think tonight or something like that. So
Yeah,
he's
it's
very inspirational because he just makes that hustler music that I can relate to. Same thing with Pusha T, even though it's drug related. I can feel like when I'm doing this stuff, it's like I'm doing the same thing, or have the
mm-hmm.
same spirit or ambition.
Yeah, Currency, you're gonna get some people are gonna be amped about that. We definitely have some regular listeners and stuff who are huge Currency
Yeah.
fans, so they're gonna be happy you're on that wave. Speaking of, you mentioned Latrell, he's on Stiz's album dropping tonight too. If we want to talk hometown, so
What?
I know he's got a beat on there. Yeah, so
Wow. I feel like Boston is really moving. I know Bia had a good year last year too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she reps Boston like that though, but she's from there, so it's a good look. So.
I think she does. I don't think everyone knows, but I think
Yeah.
she doesn't run from it for sure. It's been cool being out here and hearing her songs get played, in cars driving by.
Wow.
Because I don't know how
That's
common
great for
that
her.
was. Yeah, I'm real happy. So do you have any? I don't know. You might have shouted them out already, but do you have like artists who are tapping in with you, or are you more tapped in with?
Yeah, I have a whole lot of, well, not even say a whole lot, but there's a few artists down here in Houston. Actually, one of them, was my first model down here. When I moved down here, I was like, damn, like, where's the models really? And I came across this guy, Tobacco Ryan, and now he has a whole crew, the Bloom set, and my guy Zay's in there too, and he modeled for me as well. Um, And then there's my guy, Don't Ask Jen. I'm not even sure if I'm saying the name right, but incredible R&B singer, incredible. Like we were supposed to collaborate on his like visuals for his right before the pandemic hit for his album, and I regret that we didn't get together. But we spoke I think a couple of weeks ago, and he's amazing. I'll link you guys to all his work. Like
Please do.
that's just it. Those are the only artists that I'm really working with. Actually, I was in a video. I was in a music video. One of these. I styled the whole video. I think it's on my archives page. Um, yeah, yeah, of those guys. Yeah. I'm gonna work with them shortly. In the future as well. So.
Yeah, man, and please keep us in the loop with everything you got going on, because we're definitely down to share it and help people find out. Especially now that I kind of look at these interviews as like an introduction. Like I'm out here just trying to introduce the people I know to each other and connect the dots. So now that they've seen you, now that they've heard from you, it's going to be more familiar. The more you do, the more we can tell them about. And
Exactly, man. Honestly, like the last couple of years, I kind of been in my own shell. Just okay, so I have to admit that I lost like 40 pounds. Like am I supposed to before and after? I think even when we did the video, like I was probably like 20 pounds heavier than I am now.
okay.
So, or maybe 10. Because I was looking at my legs. I'm like, my legs don't look like my legs don't look like that. But I just want to come back out of my shell because, like, when I first started this, I was fearless and I was just out there. But life happens sometimes, and you kind of just gotta battle that, and you gotta get your perspective right. And I'm back now. I just everything is really just behind my confidence is really behind my craftsmanship at this point. Um, I produce more, the more you'll see me, pretty much. I got
Fire.
some opportunities on the table that hopefully they go through. I might be on an international platform this summer.
Nice.
Uh, it's crazy story. Like I can elaborate on that like the next time. So,
Yeah. I like that you
um,
said that. There will be a next time for
yeah, of
sure.
course, man, of course. Um, yeah, man. I hope I actually, I hope I answered your question. I kind of just kind of.
Yeah, you did, man. It's cool, man. It's good to see you, and I'm glad to hear that the confidence is like behind the craft, and now it's starting to come out in your everyday life, and we're going to see more of you, hear more from you, and like I'm excited to see what that looks like. I'm gonna hit up. I have Cyrus' number, so I'm about to hit him up and tell him we need some beats so we can,
Hey,
produce this album. Like,
if you want to be Kanye, I can be Pusha. Let's do this.
let's go. You heard it here first. That's fine, man. I'm all about that. Everyone, it's so dope that everyone has the space to create however they
Yeah.
want and whatever these days. So whatever we can do with that. Is there anything you wanted to talk about tonight that you didn't get a chance to?
Hmm. Not just more product on the way. Just I'm constantly evolving. I'm actually getting more involved into tech because I do the program as well. So I kind of want to one day just tie it all in, and maybe the metaverse is probably what's gonna do that, like making wearable products for some stuff like that, NFTs. Still learning a lot, and I just want to tell people to keep learning. Don't let these times pass you by. I remember just watching YouTube and discovering Jake Paul and Logan Paul back in 2017, and they were just doing pranks or everyday. They did everyday like blogs or something like that. The consistency, the quality, the way they marketed was like, what is this? They came from Vine, and I remember
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck Vine, like, but these kids were on Vine. They
Yeah.
made a following. Went to YouTube, they're millionaires now. So I just learned a lesson. Like, and I always felt this as a kid. I don't want technology to pass me by. When I used to read the IGN magazine to see, you know, what consoles, what the technology was going to be, even with computers, the megahertz, the gigs, and then seeing that these kids, like my son, he's not even 2 years old. He knows how to work the iPad. Go to YouTube, press his videos, and then he knows how to swipe out of there to his games and presses
Yep.
and plays his like alphabet game. I'm like, he knows his alphabets and he's not even two. He doesn't know how to say them yet, but he pronounces them, tries to. Like this new generation is gonna catch on even quicker. So if you're older, don't be the grandmother that don't want a computer.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
like we're there now. because
They're
it's
fast.
exponentially growing faster and faster and faster. Web3 is coming. So.
Yeah, right around the corner. Yeah, they're fast, man. The kids are picking it up quick. And now I met a kid who was trying to send me beats the other day, but he was like 7 or 8, and he had the app, but he didn't have the email preferences. Like he's like trying to get his dad, like, please send this to Sam. And it was like, you know, they're
I'm scared. I'm scared like these kids are gonna start talking a whole nother language, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like that's what.
No, hopefully they're graceful, but they could easily put us out to pasture pretty quick if they're like, all right, you guys are done. You don't know how to use this app, so see you later.
Exactly.
It'll be cool though. They seem like an inclusive bunch for the most part.
Yeah.
But word, man. Well, thank you for coming through and chopping it up. Don't sign off. I'm going to talk to you real quick after we stop going live. But I appreciate you coming on here. Where's the best place for people to connect with you? If you could say like one place to go right now.
Best place right now is loregold.us. LOREGOLD.us. It's more of like a little secluded page, more for me to just restart, rebrand. Of course, the archives page is there, but I don't really go to it as much. And that's it. Yeah, and then all my links are probably on that page as well. So,
word. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone tuning in. Shout out to y'all. This is going to be up on the YouTube, so if you enjoyed the convo, share it with folks. If you're new to the convo, share it with folks. We got a whole interview out with Lore already. It was episode 3 of Outside the Algorithm. We also have interviews with Miss Hot Sauce and Cake Swag, and we're going to be doing these lives every month. So stay tuned. You can get us at LFOD Life on everything. And just tap in, stay in touch with us. We also have a membership thing going right now, and we'll get you on a newsletter, and we'll just send you everything. So you don't even need to follow us on social media. That'll all be in the bio, all that good stuff. Lore, thank you, my guy. I appreciate you,
man.
Stay safe, stay well out there, and everyone else be safe too. Stay tuned. We'll be sharing everything Lore's got coming up in the future, new website, all that. Peace.